for this lesson, I am going to teach you how to solve quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. So, bakit ba may apat na ways in solving quadratic equations? Hindi pa pwedeng isa lang. Kasi, there are some instances na the given quadratic equation cannot be solved by this method. Okay? Kaya, nagkaroon ng apat. So, una, sa extracting the square roots, ang kaya lang niyang isolve yung may mga quadratic term and constant term in the form ax squared is equal to c. Okay? Kapag naman sa factoring and completing the square, complete quadratic equations yung kaya nilang computin, pero there are some instances kasi na hindi pa din ma-solve using that two methods. Okay? Pero, dito sa quadratic formula, any form of quadratic equations, mapa-complete, mapa-incomplete quadratic equations, kahit anong form, kaya niyang solve. Kaya, ito yung last resort when solving quadratic equations. Let's say, you solve quadratic equations and then you didn't get the roots using factoring and completing the square. This is your last resort in solving for the roots by using the quadratic formula. So, ano ba yung quadratic formula? So, this is the quadratic formula. Negative b positive negative square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Yan yung quadratic formula. And when we say formula, ibig sabihin, hindi pwedeng mabago alinman sa sign, sa terms, sa exponents dito. Yan mismo yung formula na kailangan nating sundin. We cannot edit the formula by our own will. Okay? Kasi formula yan. Kaya nga tinawag na formula, meaning constant. Hindi nababago. Okay? So, let's try to solve some quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. Let's say we have example number 1, and the given is x squared minus 7x is equal to negative 10. So how do we solve this using the quadratic formula? So you need to remember first that in using quadratic formula, in solving quadratic equations, the given must be in standard form or in ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Yan yung standard form, di ba? So, kailangan lahat ng terms ay nasa left side, okay, ng equation. And then, sa right side, dapat 0 lang dyan. For you to be able to use quadratic formula. So, here sa ating example, hindi siya naka-standard form. So, we need to transpose negative 10 to the left side of the equation para maging siyang standard form. So, x squared minus 7x, negative 10 will become positive 10 equals 0. This will be your new set of given. So, now, I can delete this part and then proceed in using the new set of givens. I'm going to move that and then delete this part. Now that we made the given into its standard form, we will get for the values of the variables, which is a, b, and c, just like your lesson number 1. So, in this example, yung a natin yung coefficient sa quadratic term, di ba? Ang quadratic term natin is x squared. So, kapag wala kayong nakikitang coefficient, the coefficient is automatically 1, the invisible 1. Therefore, value ng a natin dito sa given ay 1. Okay? The value of b is, yung b is yung coefficient ng linear term. Okay? So, negative 7. And then your c is your constant term, which is 10. Constant term is mga terms na walang variables. Okay? Excuse me. Now that we have the values of a, b, and c, we can now use the quadratic formula. So I'm going to write the quadratic formula here. I'm going to move this first kasi using this method, asahan nyo na sobrang magiging mahaba ng solutions ninyo So b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Yan yung quadratic formula. So using that, we will substitute the values of a, b, and c using this formula. So I'm going to write my solution here. And then, I'm going to directly substitute the values of A, B, and C, okay? So, first, substitute natin yung value ng B. So, negative, tas yung B natin, ano yung value niya? Negative 7. So, huwag kayong magpapalito doon, okay? So, iba yung negative na sign ng B mo sa negative dito sa formula. So, kaya nga, I always tell you na when you substitute something, you should put parentheses para indication na you substituted a value on that part. So, positive, negative, square root of b squared, your b is negative 7, okay, squared, minus, okay, pahabain ko lang, minus 4, the value of your a is 1, okay, c is 10, all over, lagyan ko dito ng arrow para indication na solution, okay, all over 2a, your a is 1, okay, so napansin nyo dito palang puno na yung board. Okay, now, let's simplify, okay? So, dito, negative times negative 7, it will become positive, okay? Negative times positive is positive. So, positive, negative, square root of negative 7 squared, that is 49, and then minus, ito, anak, i-multiply nyo siya ng dire-diretso. So, 4 times 1 times 10. The answer is 40. Okay? All over 2. And now, I am going to move my solution here. And then, so, 7 positive, negative, square root of 49 minus 40, ilan yun? That is 9 over 2. Okay? And then the next one, let's simplify the square root. So 7, positive, negative. What is the square root of 9? 3. Ayan na yung dalawang sign niya. All over 2. So now, we have this solution. I am going to delete this part. No? Para dumami yung space natin. And yan. I'm going to move this solution here. Ayan. Now, we have this solution. I'm going to continue this here. We have 7 positive, negative 3 over 2. So, we need two solutions, di ba? So, pag-iwalayin lang natin yung sign niya. Okay? Si positive and si negative. So, on the first solution, we have 7 plus 3 over 2. Okay? And then on the other solution, we have 7 minus 3 over 2. Ayan. And dalawa sila. So, solving this, we have, on the first solution, 7 plus 3 over 2, that is 10 over 2, di ba? 10 over 2 is simply equal to 5. Okay? And then, here, 7 minus 3, the answer is 4 over 2. Okay? 4 over 2 can be written simply as 2. Kasi 4 divided by 2, that is 2. Now, we have our set of roots. So now, the answer will be in this, in set form. 5 and then 2. That will be your solution sets. Okay? Now, let's have another example. So I'm just going to erase everything. Yeah. let's have another example. Let's say, we have example number 2. And then we have 2y squared is equal to negative 8y minus 3. Okay? So, napansin nyo na the given is not in standard form. Therefore, we need to transpose the linear and the constant term on the left side. So, transpose natin sila pareho. Diyan. So, magiging 2y squared, negative 8y magiging siyang positive 8y, negative 3 magiging siyang positive 3 equals 0. Ayan. So now that the given is in standard form, and naka-standard form na siya, therefore, the next step that we need is to find the value of A, B, and C. So the value of A here is 2. Ito yun, di ba? B is 8. C is 3. Yan. We need to remember that. And then, the solution will become like this. I am going to straight up substitute, okay? So, negative, the value of your B is 8. Okay? Positive, negative, square root of your B is 8. Diba? Squared minus 4. Your A is 2. Your C is 3. Okay? All over 2A. Your A is 2. Ayan. Now that we substitute everything, let's simplify some of it. Okay? So, negative times 8, that is negative 8. Positive, negative, square root of 8 squared, that is 64. Minus 4 times 2 times 3, 8 times 3, that is 24. Okay? Now, we will solve the denominator. So, 2 times 2, the answer is 4. Okay? So, I'm going to continue the solution here. So, we have negative 8, positive, negative, square root of 64 minus 24. The answer is 40. Okay? Over 4. So, I'm going to erase this part. Para lumaki pa yung space. Then, I'm going to move this here. Ayan. So, now, dito, 40 is not a perfect square. So, we cannot simplify that. So, ano po bang gagawin namin if, halimbawa, yung kukunin namin ng square root ay hindi siya perfect square? Kasi kanina, we can easily solve for square root of 9 kasi 9 is a perfect square. How about 40? 40 is not a perfect square. Therefore, we will factor 40. So how do we factor 40? We will find a factor of 40 that is a perfect square. So ano ba yung mga perfect square? That is 1, that is 4, that is 9, that is 16, that is 25. Ano kaya dun sa mga perfect square numbers na yun? Ang factor ni 40. Ayan. So ipa-factor natin siya, di ba? Let's say, for example, these are the list of the perfect square numbers kasi 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100. Ano ba dito sa mga perfect square numbers na to? Ang factor ni 40. So we can say na that is 4, no? Kasi 4 times 10 is 40. Okay? So, 4 is a perfect square. Hindi naman pwedeng 9. Hindi naman factor ni 40 ang 9 eh. Ano pwedeng yung multiply sa 9 na dapat ang sagot 40? Wala naman. So, therefore, the answer is 4. So, we need to write first the perfect square factor times, ano yung factor niya na hindi perfect square? 10. Okay? All over 4. I'm going to erase this part. And then here, I'm going to continue my solution. So, ma'am, ano na po yung gagawin namin? So, we will need to get the square root of the perfect square factor. So, paano yun? Negative 8, positive, negative. What is the square root of 4? That is 2. May iwan si 10 sa loob ng square root kasi hindi natin pwedeng makuha yung square root niya kasi hindi naman siya perfect square. All over 4. Now, observing this, actually we can simplify this expression pa eh. So, take a look at the numbers outside the radical sign. So, we have 2, we have 8, and we have 4. Observing these three numbers, meron pa silang greatest common factor eh, which is 2. We can divide all of them by 2. So, we need to simplify them by dividing them by 2, which is their common factor. So, i-divide natin isa-isa by 2. So, negative 8 divided by 2, the answer is negative 4. Positive, negative 2 divided by 2, the answer is 1. So, hindi na natin siya isusulat. Okay? So, yung number sa labas ng radicals, kapag 1, hindi na din siya sinusulat. Para siyang exponent and then coefficient. Okay? And then, square root of 10 all over 4. Now, ito, ma'am, pwede pa po ba namin i-divide si negative 4 and 4? Hindi na. Kailangan kapag nagsisimplify tayo, pati yung number na kasama ng radical dito sa part na to, i-divide nyo siya. Okay, katulad ng ginawa natin dito kanina, dinivide natin silang tatlo. Pero kung ito lang yung i-divide mo, sila lang dalawa, you can't divide or you can simplify. No? So, therefore, ito na ba yung final answer natin? So, hindi pa. So, ang gagawin pa natin sa kanila is we will separate or we will split the signs. Kasi pansin nyo, we have two possible answers nga or two possible roots lagi. So, the first one will be, ayan, kailangan natin tong split kasi yung signs. So, the first one, the first root is negative 4 plus square root of 10 over 4. And then the second one is negative 4 minus square root of 10 over 4. That will be your roots. Kasi we cannot do something or anything with this. Therefore, this will be your final answer. So, yan yung roots ng quadratic equation. So, don't be afraid kapag halimbawa nag-compute kayo tapos ganito yung nakuha yung answers. Kasi it's really possible na you will come up with these answers na may radical na kasama. Everything is possible in math, actually. And then, let's say we will solve another example, no? Kasi medyo madae talaga na kayang solvein itong quadratic formula. Therefore, there are a lot of possible answers na mangyayari. So, let's say we have example number 3, and the given is 3m squared minus 5m equals 0. This is an example of an incomplete quadratic equation, di ba? So, using extracting the square, I believe hindi kayang solvein using extracting the square roots, di ba? Kasi wala siyang constant term, pero meron siyang linear term. Pwede itong masolve ng completing the square, I believe, and factoring, I am not quite sure, no? Pero quadratic formula kasi kaya niyang solvein lahat. So if you're having trouble using the other methods, you can straight up use quadratic formula. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite the quadratic formula here para hindi niyo makalimutan. L over 2a. And then, we will, so ito, napansin nyo, meron lang dito sa given is quadratic term and then linear term. The constant term is missing. You have no problem solving this using the quadratic formula even though wala yung constant term. Pero naka-standard form naman siya even though wala siyang constant term. Therefore, we can just move in finding the values of A, B, and C. So the values of A here is 3. The value of B is negative 5. Your C, wala kang constant term, therefore that is 0. Okay? So kapag wala kang linear term, that is 0. Pag wala kang constant term, that is 0. In using quadratic formula. Okay? So our solution will become like this. So I'm just going to directly substitute everything now. So negative, and then the value of your B is negative 5. Positive, negative, square root of your B is negative 5 squared minus 4. Your A is 3. Okay? And then your C is 0. All over 2A. Oh no. Substitute na nga pala. 3. Your A is 3. Okay? Now, simplifying some of the given, negative times negative 5, the answer will be positive 5. Okay? Positive, negative, square root of negative 5 squared, that is 25. Minus 4 times 3 times 0, the answer is 0. Diba? I'm so sorry, medyo paling, no? I'm trying my best to make it as straight as possible, pero I can't. I can't control the pen. So 25 minus 0 all over 2 times 3, that is 6. Okay? And then I'm going to move my solution here. So 5 positive, negative, square root of 25 minus 0, that is 25 all over 6. Okay? And then 5 positive, negative, square root of 25, that is 5 over 6. Now, before I continue this, I'm going to erase these parts para mas dumami yung space natin. Okay? I'm going to move our solution here. So now, we have this 1. Kailangan natin hihiwalay yung signs. Okay? And then, we will get 5 plus 5 over 6. The other one will become 5 minus 5 over 6. So 5 plus 5, that is 10 over 6. 10 over 6 can be written simply as what? 5 over 3. Bakit siya naging 5 over 3? We can divide 10 over 6 by the GCF, which is 2. Okay? So, dinivide lang siya pareho sa 2. Kaya siya naging 5 over 3. Okay? How about this? The next one. So, 5 minus 5, the answer is 0 over 6. So, kapag ang numerator mo ay 0, the answer is 0. Pero kapag ang denominator mo ang naging 0, the answer is undefined. Okay? In this example, the numerator is 0, therefore the answer is 0. So, if we will be writing our answer using sets, the answer will be 5 over 3 and then 0. Okay? And then we have the last example. So I am doing my best to give lots of example as much as possible kasi you will encounter a lot of numbers in math, a lot of problems, a lot of possible givens kasi very broad yung math. So I cannot rely on the same example, okay, the same given. So let's say the last example is 4x squared minus 8x plus 13 equals 0. So ito, the given is already in standard form, therefore we can just list agad yung values ng A, B, and C. Okay, so A is 4, B is negative 8, C is 13. Now, solving this, I am going to straight up substitute everything, okay? So negative, and then the value of your B is negative 8, positive negative square root of B, which is negative 8 squared, minus 4. Your A is also 4, okay? And then C is 13. All over 2 times 4. Okay? And then simplifying some terms, so negative times negative 8, the answer will be positive 8. And then positive negative square root of negative 8 squared, the answer is 64, minus 4 times 4, the answer is 16. Okay, times 13, dire-diretso, the answer is 208 all over 2 times 4, the answer is 8. So I'm going to continue my solution here. So 8 plus negative square root of 64 minus 208, the answer is negative 144 all over 8. So ayan. So observing that, your solution, napansin nyo, mayroong kayong nakitang ibang bagay. So meron kayong nakitang ibang bagay. So ma'am, paano po kukuha ng square root ng negative numbers? But first of all, pag ba we are getting the square root of negative numbers, real number ba yun? Kasi I always say na when you come up with an answer na, when you come up with an answer na katulad niyan, that is called an imaginary number or a non-real number. Imaginary, ibig sabihin, walang ganyang numbers. Okay? Ayan. Pag nakita niyo na yung mga square root ng negative numbers or yung symbol na I, meaning they denote imaginary or non-real numbers. So how do we get the solution set nito, ma'am? So kapag nakita niyo na agad na yung solution niyo ay ganito, you can just write your answer as this. There is no real solution. Okay? There is no real solution. Kasi nga imaginary number yung lumabas. Pero in some books, sinosolve nila pag ganito. Especially kapag halimbawa yung number na given ay perfect square sana. Kapag tinanggal natin to, perfect square siya, di ba? So 144. Pero negative nga lang siya. Sa other books na solve to, so I believe merong isang mathematician na nag-propose ng symbol na I for us to solve quadratic equations like this. So if Ma'am Noemi will solve this, ang magiging sagot dapat nito ay square root ng negative 144, that is 12i. Pansin nyo, imaginary kasi. All over 8. So, continuing the solution, magiging siyang 8 plus 12i over 8. And 8 minus 12i over 8. I'm not quite sure if pwede natin siyang i-divide sa common factor given that this is an imaginary number. Pero I know that this is the answer in some books. Pero, of course, mabait si Ma'am Noemi, I am going to let you have this as your answer. Kapag nakita niyo na yung solution niyo ay square root ng negative numbers, just like this, automatically stop solving it and your answer will be, there is no real solution in the given quadratic equation. Kasi wala naman talaga. Okay? Imaginary na kasi yan. Pag pinagsunod-sunod nating isolve, magiging imaginary na. Wala nang ganyang numbers talaga. Kaya nga imaginary. Okay? So that's how you use quadratic formula in solving quadratic equations.